What job is commonly forgot about but is essential for society? Sewage workers. All of them. I wouldn't want to return to the days it's all dumped in waterways. I test food at the factory to make sure it's safe for people to eat. Plumber. Plumbers keep people safe and healthy. Good electricians. Faulty wiring can kill someone or set buildings on fire. Lots of people fantasize about being a gun-toting badass when the apocalypse hits, but unless you know a good dentist, your life will soon become unbearable. Maintenance and safety engineers, especially the ones that impose standards. Those standards are there to keep everyone safe, but a lot of common people forget about what to do and what not to do. Sometimes, they even scream that their actions are more justified than the safety precautions the engineers are imposing. The world as we know it would fall apart in so many ways if all of the essential people who maintain the internet all vanished. So much of banking, security, entertainment, food, etc. revolves around a functioning internet. It wouldn't be an apocalypse, but it would be an insane disruption to the world. Millions would die. Millions more wouldn't be able to browse Reddit. Catastrophe. HVAC technicians. Elevator repair people. When have you ever seen an old elevator removed, and a new one installed? Almost never, which means people are constantly repairing old elevators. The guys who sweep out and clean parking garages. Warehousing. Most necessities you buy get to you from a warehouse. Truck drivers. Supply chains are the lifeblood of every industry from grocery stores to battlefields. Medical laboratory technologists. Always grinds my gears when people say, just run more COVID tests. How hard can this be? When my area has a backlog, and it's just like, there are literal humans who run these tests. Your swab doesn't just go to the magic lab where test results grow on trees. Sewage cleaning. Sometimes the piping and lines burst, back up and clog. Someone needs to physical climb and swim through shit just so out society can function. It is also a fairly dangerous job. Miners. Without miners, there would be no steel or anything metal. Postal workers. Grocers. Think of just how much food you get from the store and don't grow or raise yourself. With the exception of you farmers out there, that number probably approaches 100%. Now imagine if you went to the store, and nobody had brought it out of the back and put it on the shelves. Instead it was in the back and the shelves were empty. Cities would burn if we didn't have grocers. Civil planning. Programming traffic light cycles and all of the other things that we think just work on their own. All the jobs that Mike Rowe did in Dirty Jobs. People who create databases. My close friend created a very important database for a big hospital. He worked on it for years and it's really successful. He said he gets compliments from other tech people, but not from regular people. He mentioned he only hears about the bugs when something isn't working, and it's always along the lines of, why isn't this working? When can it work again? This is ridiculous. Like, chill the fuck out. He built this from nothing and it's helping save lives. Send him a fucking gift card or something. Factory workers. Even as everything gets more automated, someone has to keep all the machines working. And there are some things that will always need to be done by hand. Never done it myself, but major respect. Water treatment operators, hands down. You can go without every other of these suggestions and get by, but no water, society collapses. Funeral directors. Research scientists who work on lab rats and mice to make safe medicines, vaccines, psychological revelations, etc. for humans. Clerks, cashiers. It's seemingly an easy job to get and to do, but most systems take a while to learn and are constantly changing. Retail sales and service can't work without them. They stand all day and take all kinds of front-line crap. They do a type of PR. If you want to say self-checkout will replace them, there's truth to that, but even self-checkout has clerks. Just one to several stations rather than one-to-one. I feel like the common answers are janitors, truck drivers, and garbage people. Which are all important, but the amount that I see it I wouldn't call them commonly forgot about. Warehouse workers would be my answer. part of the logistics chain like truck drivers but hardly ever talked about. They are responsible of ensuring quality product gets on the truck sorted and stacked correctly. It's normally a very physical job that almost never gets talked about. Electrical industry workers. Seriously, if we stopped, society would collapse completely within hours. From the common sparky to the workers in the power stations and the people that balance the transmission networks, if they stopped and walked out, our society end. Truck driver. I test condoms for a living. Imagine if condoms reached the market untested. There would be overpopu. Well, I still like my job. Utility workers. These times especially, I imagine, like other frontliners, they're also being super overworked due to the rise of utility use as more and more people are working from home. The people that keep the internet working. Logistics. Someone's out there figuring out routes, storage, and timetables so you can get that novelty mug from Amazon. Teachers. Without teachers, we'd all be bumbling idiots, except the self-taught geniuses. Teachers don't get enough, or any in some places, recognition for their essential contribution to society. Reddit moderator. Oh wait, sorry. Thought you asked which job was the least important and least respected. My bad. Electricians and civil engineers. The people who do the day-to-day maintenance on the machines that the rest of the other jobs kind of rely on. The people whose job it is to clean fatbergs out of sewers. Meat factory workers. A lot of them are immigrants forced to work in dangerous conditions. And a lot got hit by COVID the last few months. The people who do maintenance on the sewage system. Taxi drivers. Have never actually heard any children say, "I want to be a taxi driver," TBH. Honestly, probably most blue-collar jobs. Society would literally fall apart without them. Longshoremen. If they strike, they can, and have, basically shut down the economy. The supply chain breaks down if you can't get your stuff off of the ship that just came in from China, Taiwan, Vietnam, wherever. I work in land surveying. I don't know if it's commonly forgotten, but it seems like most laypeople have no idea what I do. It's one of society's oldest professions, and is integral to all proper land transactions and construction projects. However, it is very unglamorous, methodical, and requires relatively little equipment, so we just kinda blend into the commercial machine. Tractor assembly. We basically make everything happen. Look at Ukraine when they got hit by that crippling cyber attack a few years ago. Everything grinded to a halt. I'm salty about how no one thanked us on all of those "we appreciate essential workers" commercials. I've been working double since the pandemic, making sure everyone can manage their finances remotely and withdraw those stimulus checks. Telephone sanitizers. Not sure if this has been said yet, but semi-truck drivers. They deliver and drive across the country to bring goods to the entire country. Waste maintenance. Trashmen. Hell, watch that pile up if there's no one to take it away every week. Weights and measures, specifically those who certify gas station pumps. Doesn't seem that important until you have a car with a broken gas gauge. Captains and crew of cargo ships and freighters, conductors of trains, and pilots of cargo airplanes. We forget the crazy journey things take to get to us and how many hands they pass through, all while being enclosed in giant boxes so no one really knows what they're carrying, they just are. I didn't include truck drivers because I feel we are very much aware of their existence. The dude that cleans up at the sex theater. Morticians, coroners and their ilk. It'll be fun if no one picks up the dead bodies. Lawyers. We joke about them, but human conflict is inevitable. A world with no one trained to navigate unresolvable conflict is basically the law of the jungle. No thanks. Anyone in the freight business. I'm a freight broker. Lots of manufacturers don't have their own trucks to haul things, so they hire freight brokers. If it wasn't for us, nothing would get on a truck to get where it needs to be. We do mostly steel, so if it wasn't for us, buildings wouldn't be built. Body removal service. Somebody has to do it. I did it for a year at age 22. A great insight into family dynamics, as I watched two brothers fighting to remove their mother's diamond rings from her bedroom jewelry box, in front of their teen-aged kids. Disgusting. Jim B. Box manufacturing. Hidden in plain sight. I'm thinking just about any job other than a CEO of any large corporation. Electricians. Those who work at nuclear power plants. If we didn't have those guys, guess what happens? A nuclear apocalypse fallout. Truck drivers. They deliver all our food to the grocery stores. 100% garbage men. For some reason, the societal norm is that they are the most worthless contributors to society, but honestly, we'd be screwed without them. Imagine how fast the garbage in our homes would build up without an easy way to clear it out. Nothing but total respect for those who chose that career path. Tech support. The operators in Big Pharma that actually produce medicines. Big Pharma is one of the most hated industries, but those guys aren't the executives with big bonuses that gets all the crap, just regular people with normal wages. But that does not change the fact that they are essential for society. Imagine if they all of a sudden stopped showing up for work and the supply of, for example, insulin stopped. I don't know if that counts, but I want to be a dietitian and only a few people know what this is. Landscape, excavation, tree removal. I've been very fortunate to keep my job during this pandemic, but I feel that landscapers, construction crews, road crews, tree cutters, and anyone in and around those fields of work get forgotten a lot. Infrastructure does not maintain itself. Warehouse employees. Currently working for the richest man, and I'm grateful for a job, but all I've received during the pandemic was a $500, taxed down to like $300, one-time bonus and a 45-cent raise while working OT of 50 to 60 hours a week and no locations shutting down even with people testing positive. Well, if this pandemic taught us anything, grocery store employees are pretty essential. Plow drivers, road maintenance. Can't transport goods if the roads are buried in snow, especially in the mountains. Just about any job related to moving shipping containers from A to B. Standardized containers are literally the invention that enables the modern world. They're not necessarily fast, but they're unbelievably cost-efficient. Ordering something built on the other side of the world, it's likely cost less than a cup of coffee to ship it to you. People who clean up our sewer systems, they deal with insanely nasty stuff down there. I can only think of one movie that features a main character as a gas station attendant. Thanks for watching. See you later.